change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginnings to you and me, 'cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done.
Okay, it's time to rise and shine, people. It's time to get up. I don't know what happened to my thing. I don't know what happened to my thing today. Something happened last night, and it went back to where it was supposed to. Okay, never mind. I'm not even gonna worry about that this morning. I'm not even gonna do that. All I know that it is time for our daily bread, okay, which is what we do first thing every morning, just to make sure that we get a word from on high, something that'll change our perspective or at least give us a new one. But either way, it's good for the soul. So good morning to everybody, and let me see if I can get a piece, if I can get my our daily bread ready this morning. I don't know what. Sometimes there is a there is a little there's a little munchkin someplace in the computer, because right when I'm ready to roll, okay, right when I'm ready to roll, then it always gives me the blues. I mean, like last night, I had this thing in there, I had this thing ready to go, and all of a sudden, it wasn't there this morning. I don't know where it went to, but it's not there. I don't know where it went. So I'm gonna have to turn my computer off at night from now on, because I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. Okay, I don't really know. Okay, but we're here to roll. We're here to go. A lot of things to talk about today. Right now, let us talk about our daily bread. Okay, so good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. Hope you are doing fine and all those things like that, because I am. It is a great day, an outstanding day to be alive. Oh, it is. Yeah. Try missing a day. You'll see what I'm saying. Anyway, so hang loose, and we'll be back. Uno momento. Okay? Hang loose. Don't go nowhere. Get your water, get your milk, whatever it is you got to get together, and let's have a conversation this morning about whatever you want to, or at least whatever I want to. Good morning.
It's good to pour out our hearts to God. Welcome. It's time for another word of encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our writer for today is Tim Gustafson, and the writing for today is entitled Mercy's Lament. Her father blamed his illness on witchcraft. It was AIDS. When he died, his daughter, 10-year-old Mercy, grew even closer to her mother. But her mother was sick too, and 3 years later, she died. From then on, Mercy's sister raised the 5 siblings. That's when Mercy began to keep a journal of her deep pain. The prophet Jeremiah kept a record of his pain too. In the grim book of Lamentations, he wrote of atrocities done to Judah by the Babylonian army. Jeremiah's heart was especially grieved for the youngest victims. "My heart is poured out on the ground," he cried in chapter 2, "because my people are destroyed, because children and infants faint in the streets of the city." The people of Judah had a history of ignoring God, but their children were paying the price too. "Their lives ebb away in their mother's arms," wrote Jeremiah. We might have expected Jeremiah to reject God in the face of such suffering. Instead, he urged the survivors, "Pour out your heart like water in the presence of the Lord. Lift up your hands to him for the lives of your children." It's good, as Mercy and Jeremiah did, to pour out our hearts to God. Lament is a crucial part of being human. Even when God permits such pain, he grieves with us. Made as we are in his image, he must lament too. Now let's find hope as we turn to God's Word. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Lamentations chapter 2, verses 10 through 13 and 18 through 19. The elders of daughter Zion sit on the ground in silence. They have sprinkled dust on their heads and put on sackcloth. The young women of Jerusalem have bowed their heads to the ground. My eyes fail from weeping. I am in torment within. My heart is poured out on the ground because my people are destroyed, because children and infants faint in the streets of the city. They say to their mothers, "Where is bread and wine?" as they faint like the wounded in the streets of the city, as their lives ebb away in their mother's arms. What can I say for you? With what can I compare you, daughter Jerusalem? To what can I liken you, that I may comfort you, virgin daughter Zion? Your wound is as deep as the sea. Who can heal you? And now hear verses 18 through 19. The hearts of the people cry out to the Lord. You walls of daughter Zion, let your tears flow like a river, day and night. Give yourself no relief, your eyes no rest. Arise, cry out in the night, as the watches of the night begin. Pour out your heart like water in the presence of the Lord. Lift up your hands to him for the lives of your children who faint from hunger at every street corner. Now let's go to the Father in prayer. Dear God, thank you for your presence today. And as we come before you today, we know that many are experiencing great loss today. There's searing pain in relationships, financial distress, chronic pain that we're facing. And for whatever we're dealing with today, whatever dark and difficult situation we're facing, help us to learn how to pour out our hearts to you and find true comfort and healing and the good news of Jesus today. Thank you, Lord, and it is in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
All right, then. Now, we got one more thing. Oh, let me put my face back up there so people can see me. All right, we got one more thing to do for those people who never tune in. We have to do a little PT this morning because, we've been eating a little extra. So the general's going to take us through our little cadence thing this morning, and then we're going to get to some conversation. But right now, I was thinking something. The other day when the president, when Hegseth, who is the Secretary of Defense, a lot of people were whining and crying and he mentioned comment about fat generals and stuff like that. Yeah, he was absolutely right. You can't. That's like the sergeant major coming to me talking about Sergeant Elkins. Yeah. You kind of slacking there, and he's slacking. He's slacking. And if Hegseth had got up there all fat and out of shape, well, then you looked at him like he was crazy too, right? But let me tell you the one thing that I noticed on that, all those people. See, most people think I'm a male chauvinist pig, but I'm not. especially when it comes to women in the military. I've got no problem with women in the military as long as they're willing to hold their weight. If they want to get in, and I'm glad he took them out of combat roles. It's crazy, but as long as a woman, and I saw a woman on that and those men, a Marine Corps general, who I would probably follow anywhere because I know that woman is paid the cost to be the boss. And I tell you something, she epitomizes what I think a leader. The way she holds herself, the way listen, she don't even play basketball. I can look at her and tell her, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. That's the kind of woman that I would follow. One who paid some dues. Don't try to be all feminine when it's convenient for them to be feminine. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the kind of women I'm talking about. They want a job in the motor pool and bust one of them big old tires out there. They can't do it, but they want the same pay. No. And men, we don't want weak men either. So don't get me wrong. But I just got to tell you, that woman impressed the hell out of me, which is hard for anybody to impress the hell out of me because I don't think she's a paratrooper, but she got the stars on her shoulder to keep it settled to the ground. I just thought I'd let you know that. So all the folks out there think that I'm a male chauvinist pig. I'm sorry, I'm not. But I'm not changing the rule because you happen to be a weak female. But if you're a male, if you're a female, that would do at least attempt to do. If you ask for these tough jobs, we don't want to hear you whining when you get in them. Okay, don't whine. But there are some things, and whether women want to admit it or not, they don't. There are some things that a man can do that you can't do. And believe me, there's a couple of things that a woman can do that a man can't. And the thing y'all can do that I can't, I don't want to do them. Y'all got this thing about it looks good. The grass is always greener on the other side. And y'all think that I can do that. And then you get in there and you're too, I don't know, too egotistical to say, well, maybe this ain't exactly what I thought it was going to be. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But that general, I forgot her name, but I got to tell you something. I read up on her, and she is she the real deal. She is the real deal. So it ain't got nothing to do with your sex, ladies and gentlemen. It's about your ability. If you don't have the ability, stop trying to take jobs that go way beyond what you can do physically. God did not make women to be men. Okay. And guys, good Lord didn't make men to be women. I'm just telling you, y'all don't gotta believe me or not. But let the general do our PT this morning, and then we'll get on to some conversation. So, who's this? Who's this? Oh, this is her. Okay. It's General Tia Young. Yeah, she was the 82nd Airborne. Who I used to be with, you know what I mean? The 82nd. Yeah, I'm an alumnus of the 82nd Airborne. That's right, baby. That's right. That's me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My resume looks good. Some people say, there are still people say, I've never been in the military. Up yours. We'll be back. Where my general at? Come on. There we go. There we go. Tick Club.
Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne, every day, we run to the sun, no sweat, not yet, down in the mess hall on my knees, we got nothing to eat but a can of beans. The bread was molded and the meat was bad. Well, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne, all the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne. Ease and the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight.
Come on now.
Airborne, all the way, driving on. All the way, airborne, all the way.
Early one morning in the drizzling rain,
Well, up
my
to my
parachute
parachute and boarded the plane.
Jump
Jump
master
master
said
said
1
1
minute to
minute to
go.
go.
Green light lead with a chilling glow. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on, driving on, driving on, all the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on, driving on.
Time to rise
Here we
and
go,
shine.
all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne, airborne, airborne.
Okay. Okay, that's enough PT for one day. I'm done. I'm done with that. All right then. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good this one, as you can tell. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good. Thank the good Lord above that I always feel pretty good in the mornings. I'm a morning guy. Christy, good morning. Christy Thornton, my the toughest woman on Montgomery Police Department at one time. Christy, yeah, if you ever remember, a few years ago, we had somebody acting stupid downtown. And there's a picture in the newspaper on that day of a woman holding a brother down in the middle of the street because he thought he was super bad. But then comes Super Christy Thornton. At that particular time, I believe she was a captain. Now, she's probably one of the few women that could probably whoop me. Okay, I mean, it'll be a rare occasion, but she might could whoop me. She might could. She got all that good training and all that stuff. So who knows? Anyway, good morning. Hope everybody's doing okay this morning. I am, and you can always. We do have this is a show where you can actually call in and make whatever disparaging remarks that you want to make, or you want to be whatever you want to say. Okay, we don't hold it against you, so you can call in and I normally salute my armed forces, but I do not know where it is. Good morning, Willie. Good morning, Bud. Y'all can write on the thing right there, and life is good. We're good, but yeah, I like that general. I can't really remember what her name is though, but I read up on her. She's the real deal. She is a woman not to be messed with, and I think she's the kind of woman that men, regardless of her sex, would follow her, and I imagine they already have. And I'm just telling you. See, I'm not against women. I'm against changing the rule for women. Okay, like Ranger School, they got these women, and 3 of them, and all 3 of them passed Ranger School. Ranger School has a 70% dropout rate. 70, not 7, but 70. And the first 3 women who go there for the first time, guess what? They make it through. Now, they wouldn't let me go to Ranger Schools in my MOS. So now I would have made it. But I had to go through semi-Ranger School when I got to the unit called RIP, Ranger Indoctrination Program. And I'm telling you what, I never knew what a swamp was, but I know what one is now, and a bunch of other crap that I had to go through, almost drowning. But that's okay. I wanted to do it because I wanted to be with the best. And at that particular time in the United States military, Rangers, 82nd, they were the best. They were the best motor scooters wearing a uniform, except for the Navy SEALs. Now, I never, ever, ever wanted to be a Navy SEAL. You know why? Because I'm not getting in all that water on purpose. Okay? I'm not going to do that on purpose. We ain't going. I mean, I don't even like getting in the bathtub. Okay? I don't take that the wrong way. It ain't that I don't like taking a shower. I just don't like baths. It takes too long to draw the water. You got to sit there, wait all day long until it gets. Listen, get in there, turn the shower on, get it done. Take about 4 minutes, and you're in and out. On the bath, you got to sit there. Listen, baths are for women, okay? Not real men. That's all I'm just saying. They're not for. It's not for real men. A real man gets in the shower, yanks the towel off the wall, puts stuff all over his face. Be in there 3 minutes, out, through, done, bam. That's it. You know, women got to have the bubble bath. They got to have the special roses. They got to have candles all in the bathroom, certain kind of light and all that stuff. Man, just hit the water. Make sure you got a little cold, a little heat there, and let me wash up. And let's be done. Okay, let's just be done with it. Now, moving right along. There's a lesson of life that we every day on my Facebook page. You'll find a lesson of life, something that we are taught. We are taught by living. What is that too short? I mean, how long does it take most of y'all guys to take a shower? It takes more than 4 minutes? Really? I mean, you wash the front, you wash the back, you wash your feet, and then you're done. And you wash your hair. Of course, you got to wash your hair. Then you're done. But we'll get back to that later on. First of all, the lesson of life today is this one. And read along with me because it is a really good thing. How far you go in life depends on a few things. One is how you are tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, people like me, sympathetic with the striving, tolerant of the weak and strong. Because believe it or not, you have to be tolerant of strong people too, but especially weak. Because someday in your life, if you live long enough, you will have been all of these people. And that is from George Washington Carver, as a matter of fact, who I love his work. The man was a genius. Man, he didn't invent the peanut, but he showed us what to do with one. Okay, that's good. Okay, again, how far in life you go depends on you being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, tolerant with the weak and the strong, because someday, if you live in your life, you will have been all of these. Let's not forget the same mountain that takes you up is the same one that can bring you down. So on your way up, be nice to those people that you run into, because you never know whose help you're going to need on the way down. Okay, because some of those people may have to stop you from rolling all the way down. Okay, and then we wash. Okay, then. Yeah, we did. Anyway, good morning. And the so that is the word of the day. What does it say today? The city count update from the Mayor Reed and Chairman Singleton. Well, good. We'll see what's going to do there. I think the mayor is being a little bit unfair with the money, since we do have the money. And I think, and listen, and now here's the one thing that Mayor Reed has not said about giving this money to the hospital. It is citizens of Montgomery who mainly use the hospital. So out of all, I mean, we are a big county, right? We're a big county. And it's the citizens of Montgomery who use the hospital more than anybody. We keep shooting each other, and things of that nature. And people, and we don't shoot people with insurance. We shoot people who don't have it. Okay, so I think the city does owe them the preponderance of the $25 million. And so what's wrong with giving them $15 million? The county gives 10. The county don't have very many people going to the hospital, but the city certainly does. Matter of fact, I haven't seen the headlines today, but I hope what's in there is not there. Okay, so they're gonna now he's trying to justify him wanting to change the parameters of what's going on. And I just don't think that's fair of him. The citizens of this county, of Montgomery City, it is our people who are bankrupting Jackson with the shooting and these surgeons and all these people who got to try to save your life. They get paid, okay, and they only get paid. But I'm saying they get paid. We're responsible for bankrupting the hospital. Okay, along with a couple of illegal aliens every once in a while, but hey, we got to take care of people. But I don't think going to the Jackson, if you got a cold, if your child is sick or something like that, is bankrupting the hospital too much. But we are causing that hospital a whole lot of trauma. So we owe the hospital more money. because there's our people that get in there and don't have any insurance. Okay, so come on, Mayor Reed. I mean, we the one doing it. What if Montgomery didn't get so many people shot every day and every week and every hour? We wouldn't have to worry about the hospital being bankrupt. So, okay, let's just do the right thing. Okay, that's right. Word of the day is peanut. Okay, well, no. So you get this wrong, Mr. Teacher. He did not invent the peanut. He invented things from the peanut. Okay, he didn't. God invented the peanut. Okay, he didn't. I'm just saying. I know you meant that. I know you meant to say that, but he didn't. He didn't invent the peanut. No, he didn't. He just invented the things that you can extract from a peanut, and he invented some other things too. So anyway, so last night, let's talk about city council for a second. Last night, I'm looking at the city council meeting yesterday, and nobody wants juke joints in Montgomery. Now, juke joints are legal. There's nothing inherently wrong with the juke joint, okay? But they say we got too many. Well, who is to determine by law what too many means? They are. I mean, I like a juke joint every once in a while. Every once in a while, I like one. Okay, and I think, listen, okay, I'm off that subject. But of course, we want surrounding towns to pay a little bit too. I don't have a problem with that. What's the one out there with one out there going out not Troy Highway, joint Vaughn Road. What city? We're Pike Road and all them places. Yeah, I think they deserve a little. They'll put a little bit in the game, but there's no doubt that we citizens of Montgomery are the people who bring the financial strain on that hospital, because for some reason we can't keep our hands off guns and hurting each other. I mean, so we, the preponderance of the responsibility to give that hospital money comes from the city of Montgomery. And so the mayor is wrong on this. And, and when I see him, if I ever see him again, I'll tell him that, okay? Maybe he'll pop in the studio one of these days now. I'll tell him. All right. Anyway, but getting back to the juke joints. Everybody whining about juke joints last night. But juke joints are legal. And, you go down Zelda Road, we got more chicken places. And you go down the bypass, you got more car lots. I think we got too many car lots in Montgomery. So why don't we just get rid of some of those? Okay. Is a juke joint a bar? In my mind, it's the same. Well, it might be, it's not really a bar. I mean, they may give you a wine cooler or something every once in a while. I don't know. I've been to a juke joint my whole life. So I really don't know. But here's my problem with the city council. They come up with these, there's nothing in the law. And KK Middleton, I'm putting this at you too. There's nothing in the law that says that I have to get the approval of the neighborhood association to have a business. And because businesses are easy to shut down. If they become a nuisance in the community, if they become a nuisance to the city, then all the city got to do is go padlock their business. Okay. And if they're not smart enough to be quiet and up in there and not having people hanging outside, then they don't need to be in business. But there's no law. Act 618 does not allow for the neighborhood association, who are not elected, to determine what business can go there. Okay. I mean, and they just pull this stuff out of their butt sometimes, It's the only time that one city councilman rules the city council if somebody comes up with something that has to do with alcohol down something. And I've been whining about this for 30 years. There is no legal requirement for me to get the blessings of a neighborhood association in order to put a business up. Okay. And what really irks me with this is that for years we had a abortion clinic across from a church. And that was okay, because nobody whined about that. But we whine about somebody having a little alcohol. And morally, there's nothing wrong with alcohol. Now, the Bible says it's not what goes in a man, but what comes out of a man. So if you drink enough to get drunk, you need to be handled, put out, whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you that there's nothing, and they always pull this crap on people who go down and invest in their money, okay, when they don't have law to back them up. But you got to turn around. You got to have turnaround, and you got to go get lawyers and sue people and stuff like that. And then you got all your little bit of extra money you have. Then we're going to see. We're going to see that it costs you more money to fight it than you were ever going to make out of it. Okay, I'm just thinking, So, but it's still, we as Montgomery, we are the preponderance of the problem with the hospital. We keep sending people there, and listen, it's not there for some people. I'm not talking about regular people who just get sick. I'm talking about people who keep getting shot. Okay. Now, okay, here you go. The state law doesn't mention in it about hospitals. Doug Singleton came on the other morning and told us, and I reread it. They are for the maintenance of the poor. Okay, but it did not say anything about hospitals. Okay, it's actually not in the Constitution. So the maintenance of the poor is more like they got a healthcare. They got a county health center. Okay, they got a county health center, which is in West Montgomery. Okay, and a few other. They got a couple of them, and then they do. That is part of the maintenance of the poor. Okay, but the state law does not have in it that the county is responsible for hospitals. Okay, so it doesn't say that. Okay, and again, most of the people who visit our hospitals live in the city. Okay, live in the city and not the county. So I do think it is wholly responsible of us to take the biggest burden financially to support that hospital, since it's our folks who can't keep their hands off guns and killing each other all the time. I think we got a responsibility to do that. Okay, I think we got a responsibility to fund, fund. As a matter of fact, I looked it up. Maintenance of the poor does not. People say, well, does that include a hospital to be funded by the county government? Well, Alabama Constitution says that the county is reasonable for the reasonable maintenance of the poor. Health concern. Health concern does not mean hospital care, according to the Alabama Constitution. The Alabama Constitution, through various amendments and statutes, place some responsibility for public health and the welfare of our counties. But typically, that includes maintaining services related to basic health care needs for indigent and low-income residents, which could encompass certain aspects of hospital care, but they're not responsible for a hospital. The Alabama Constitution, however, these specific obligations regarding hospital care would depend on how state laws and individual counties interpret the implement of these responsibilities. In practice, counties might provide funding or support for hospital care or health care facilities, which they do have a couple, but that does not mean that all hospital services are covered or counties are directly to manage hospitals. Okay. Now, if you want the precise details of that of Alabama counties and what they have to do, you can check the Constitution. But all the laws, funding and support, counties provide funding and support for public health initiatives and may maintain facilities like public hospitals. Often the partnership with state and local health departments. Okay, counties might be involved in providing basic public health services like we do with the clinic in West Montgomery. Okay, so they're not the county is not responsible for hospital, but they are responsible for helping to maintain the health concerns of the poor, and that's what. So the Constitution doesn't say they need a hospital. Okay, and the extent of these responsibilities, let's go, let's do like right now in Atlanta. Atlanta has 20,000 new cases of AIDS come out in the last few months. Well, I think that the county has a responsibility to note that, to make us aware of those things, so we can stay in Montgomery and don't go to Atlanta. Disease prevention and control, implementing vaccine programs, monitoring, controlling infestation diseases, and providing public education to prevent disease spread. I got that. Maternal and child health care services. Well, we do. We got HSI, which is over, I believe, somewhere over there by is that what street is that over there? Mulberry or someplace over there near that. Okay. Environmental health. Okay. Community health clinic, and they do have some of those. So let's get mayor. Let's just get off blaming them for the hospital. That's not their function. But it is to support that hospital and these other things, substance abuse prevention and treatment, providing or funding services for the prevention and treatment of substance abuse disorders. Okay, so everybody every I think little county place around here, since these places used to be neighborhoods and now we call them cities, like Pike Road. Yeah, I think they got a little they need to put a little bit in the game, because they use our hospitals, but nothing like the mayor wants them to do. I think a 60-40 split is a good thing. The city is the one that is the albatross on Jackson Hospital. Our people, the city people, are the ones who keep going out there shoot. I mean, just think about this thing happened on the 4th of October. I mean, how many people are in there due to no fault of their own? But it happened in the city of Montgomery. I wonder how much, and it doesn't matter because life is life. Doesn't matter. But I wonder what that bill is going to total up to be. What is that bill going to total up to be, just for the circumstances surrounding what happened on the 4th of October? Okay, and some of those people are still in there. A lot of them are still in there, and some of them are hanging on to their life. And we don't know yet. We pray to God that they get well, and I hope they do, because what happened to them people had nothing to do with them. They came downtown, and that was in the city of Montgomery. So, Mayor, let's not fight about this. Okay, let's not fight about this. This is cool. Pay your money, because you funded a police department for 400 police officers, and you only got either 200 or 180 or something like that, which means that we got extra money in the police fund. I know you want to build a civic center. We got $90 million setting aside for that. I know you do. I manage. I think we do need a civic center, but nobody's going to want to come to it until we get the city under control when it comes to crime. Nobody wants to plan their events here and then turn around and got to plan their escape. Okay, so I'm just saying, let us be reasonable here, Mr. Mayor. Let's be reasonable here. Okay. Now, I'm all for you hiring who you want to hire. I'm on your team on that one. Whoever you want to hire, as long as they're qualified to do the job, I don't have a problem. They did turn Mr. Watkins down. We'll see how that works out. Now, Mr. Mayor, the next time you want to veto a bill by the city council, you might want to think about, you may need them too at some point. I'm just saying, it's about compromise. It's about compromise. Okay. So they voted for the hospital thing. You vetoed it. You bring a man up for a job, paying him way over what the job normally paid, which I don't have a problem with that at all. And now that you need them, I'm just saying, it's about the art of compromise. Okay. Okay. I don't know if it is the surrounding county's responsibility to build their own hospital. I don't know that. So they will not need to use the hospitals in Montgomery. There is a word I heard when I first got it, COD, a certificate, a certificate of need, I believe. I think you're limited to how many hospital beds that you have in a particular community. I think there's a certificate of need or something like that. I don't know what it's called. Um, Good morning, Bud.
Morning, Kevin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Why don't we do this?
Yeah.
Every resident of Montgomery, if you own a house, you have a $25 a year hospital tax. If you rent each apartment complex for each resident, $25 a year hospital tax. If you have a commercial property, $300 a year hospital tax.
Well, that
What do you think about
that's
that?
but listen. As high as they taking up rent in these apartments, I think we're already paying it.
No, we're talking about something special to
Yeah,
keep Jackson
listen.
Hospital floating.
If it get any more special, not only would I need to go to the hospital, I'm going to have to go out there and live at the hospital.
Nah, you're going to live at the hospital. It's going to cost you a couple of $1,000s a night.
Yeah. Well, again,
But would that not be realistic?
well, it does. It does put everybody in the game. But what about if you're on Social Security and you need that $25, and that's all you got?
A
That's all
year,
you get every month.
not a month, a year. $25 or $300 a year.
We can come up with that.
I mean, how much money would that raise for the hospital?
But then again, though, but then again, I say have a sugar tax. Okay, let's exponentially put taxes on the people that cause the problems. And do you know there are more people in the hospital right now because of alcohol than drugs?
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we
Don't
need
have
to
an
put
issue with that.
right.
Okay, then put a $1 tax on every bottle of beer
Absolutely. I'm good for that. Yeah.
or alcohol, whatever the case may be. But the point is, I mean, I think they said in the article last week or so, Jackson has $45 million in basically indigent care, non-payment.
That's a lot, and that's a lot of money.
It is.
And
So
most
if we would
most
spread
of us
that out
come in.
to the folks, how about this? It's
Yeah.
not even if you have a house or a property, you have a $25 hospital fee for everybody that come and uses the hospital. So that way, I'm reading the comments. What about all the surrounding counties? I mean, I live in Elmore County now. So if I go and use the hospital at Jackson, Baptist, South, whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
then put an additional $25 hospital fee on it.
And I think people, and somebody just told me, lay off the taxes. How about cut some spending? Well, you got to have a lot of spending and cut. I mean, it is this and the thing you cannot, the thing that you cannot budget are people who are picking up guns, killing each other and shooting each other and harming each other. You
Kevin,
can't budget for that. But I do think the beer tax and all that, I'm good with that. Yeah.
Kevin, how few of the folks that are actually in Jackson Hospital are as a result of gun shooting? Maybe 5%, maybe 10%.
Yeah,
The
but
vast minority.
Yeah, but guess what? If you got to do surgery on the majority of those people, bro, there's where the money is. I mean, you got to pay these people.
That's a lot of the money. But I worked at Jackson Hospital for a vendor for 25 years ago, and I saw the folks that were there. I mean, I remember one of my coworkers, her son, sweet lady.
Mm-hmm.
She was a supervisor like me, and she came in there, and her son was brought in. He was on a motorcycle, had a wreck,
mm-hmm.
and she saw her dead son laying in the ER. I mean, his head was basically gone. Okay,
right.
That's the overwhelming types of treatment that's going on at Jackson Hospital. Yes, a lot of folks use the ER as supplemental, because they don't have health insurance, whatever the case may be. But the overwhelming majority that's going on in Jackson Hospital or any other hospital in Montgomery is routine services, routine surgeries, not traumatic surgeries. And so, you could spread that out by putting a hospital tax on every patient there.
Wait a
And
minute.
if you don't want to put the burden on the patient, you could put it on the property owners.
Right, but if they had that, they wouldn't be there without insurance. And even doing the Obamacare thing, like somebody said, Obamacare, everybody's required to have insurance. But then again, if you are poor and you own Social Security, you got Medicaid and Medicaid, and a lot of doctors don't even take it. So what do these people do?
Can I tell you the biggest thing about Jackson Hospital? And again, going back to my time there and what has transpired. And there was a doctor who spent 35 years at Jackson Hospital, and he was on a FM station.
You talking about Dr. Thrasher? Yeah, Dr. Thrasher. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he said what happened was under Obamacare, and this is what drove it, hospitals like Jackson Hospitals were told to go into business, for lack of a better way of putting it, to hire all the physicians to become hospital employees. The goal was to drive out the private physician.
Well,
and so he said, they started paying 200% and 300% of what market value was for a physician. And so if you look at what happened at Jackson Hospital, primarily, and also the other ones locally, they overpaid for the physicians, and that drastically drove up their cost. I mean, there's maybe between the physicians that have admitting privileges at Jackson Hospital, you only talk about maybe 2,000 physicians, and that's more than all the nurses and all the administrative staff and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, again, hey, appreciate it. I got to take a break, but the problem with the government getting involved in healthcare, it's the same problem that happens when government gets involved in any part of the economy that they don't control. Everything goes up. Okay, and let me give you a classic example. Every time minimum wage goes up, every time, guess what happens? Everything else around us goes up. Now, people rip us off. They just think that all they do it because we get more money. They think they should get more money. We ought to put a clap down on these businesses like during COVID. Okay, when Section 8 came out, oh man, that took the price of rent of people because these people knew that the government was going to give free money to people to pay for the rent, and some of them deserve some help. So that's not that's not what I'm saying. But every time the government gets involved in whatever entity that we are dealing with, guess what? The price of everything surrounding it goes up. Cars, when they started buying used cars back during COVID, okay, they got this program, the Clunker, whatever it is. All the used cars went up. So the problem is government is not the answer to our problems. They are the problem to the problem. Okay, every time. If the government tomorrow said, you know what, we're gonna pay half the liquor bill for Johnson because he's an alcoholic and he needs it, all the liquor will go up in all the stores because Johnson's got to go in there and get his liquor, and they know that the government's giving him a liquor allowance. Okay, yeah, all the liquor will go up, and it is not. It's the people's money until we give it to the government. Then it becomes their money. Nobody has ever asked me, Kevin, what should we spend this on? Nobody's ever asked me what we should spend it on. Not one time. They never sent a letter to me. It's like being a Democrat and Republican. Just because you vote for them, don't make you one of them. The Republican Party, which is where I vote most of the time, not a Republican, but I vote for them because their philosophy is a little bit more. I can tolerate their philosophy more than I can the Democratic one. Okay, Okay. And listen, all the insurance is going up. Obama told us that we were going to save, what did he say? We're going to save $2,500 a year. Well, it's costing everybody more than $2,500 a year extra now to pay for it. And as of January, I think coming this January, all the medical things are going up. They say 15 to 20%. If I can't afford it now, what do you think is going to happen? That's what happened when government, and again, this is one of the things I can't stand about the Democratic Party. They make us like to tell me I gotta have insurance, which you deserve it. You ought to have it. But everything they push for, the Democrat Party pushes for, tethers us to them. Okay, they don't sell independence. The Democrats sell dependence, and we have to be dependent upon them for everything we do. And all of a sudden, when they're not in power, the price goes up on everything. Okay, and at least the Republicans do try to sell independence, independent of government control, independent of government use. But the Democrats want us to do everything from the womb to the tomb come to them. And then when they lose control and all these programs, then the actual price of these things comes up. It all goes up. I mean, what happened to this $2,500? Oh yeah, your bill's gonna go down $2,500. I mean, really? Well, I would tell you that the bill is going up. The bill is going up to approximately a hell of a lot more than $2,500. Okay. So I'm just saying, and Blue Cross Blue Shield, bless them. But if you can afford Blue Cross Blue Shield, you're certainly in a different pay grade than I'm in. Thank God for the VA. I wouldn't know what to do with all this stuff. So you go, no, and everybody can't join the military. So in the big beautiful bill, I don't really know what was in. I read some of it. I can't make heads or tails of the language in a lot of these pieces of legislation. I can't. But again, now somebody said something a few minutes ago. Okay, somebody said a few minutes ago, and I kind of agree with this. Let's put a humongous tax on guns and ammunition, since they seem to be the majority of the causation of our problems for hospitals. Okay, so I'm saying let's target the instrument of such violence. Okay, and let's make them pay a large tax on a gun and a yearly fee. Let's put a yearly fee. If you own a gun, you need to pay a yearly tax on that gun. And we ain't saying you can't have it. We don't violate the Constitution. Let's just say, if you live inside the city of Montgomery County, that's up to the county. But in the city, if you got a gun, I'm thinking you need to pay a yearly tax on it. Where's mine? As a matter of fact, there it is, right there. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't mind paying the tax on it. Okay, I love a Glock. A Glock is just and it just does something to me. Makes me hot and warm all over. But anyway, the numbers here. If you want to, give us a call. It's 521-2963. If you got something on your mind this morning, you think you can add to this conversation. But again, like I say, we need a sugar tax. We need to put a tax on the things that harm us. Okay. That way you can help pay for your own care when you go out there and do something stupid, and you can pay part of that care. Okay, you can do that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think you can. I think you guys can understand that. I think we can do that. But so let's do that. And sugar tax. Hey, beer, wine, cigarettes. I wouldn't care if you put a $5 tax on cigarettes. I can't stand them anyway. And beer, you don't need beer. You don't. We need to put a 75-cent tax on each can of beer. Let's see who buys it then. And bullets, hey, $5 a bullet. Okay, $5 a bullet. Let's see who's gonna buy all them bullets then. Mm-hmm. And there will be some people who still can afford it. Not a problem. But it ain't those folks that bother me. It's the people who can't afford it, who go around stealing guns and stuff out of people's cars. I think it's a pretty good idea. What say you? And listen, I'm not a tax and spend kind of guy, but it's the only way we can get people's attention sometimes with money. Okay. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you?
I'm doing great. You ought to call your guy that sued the government, got $230 million of taxpayer money to ask him. He said he's going to give it to a charity. The hospital in Montgomery could be a charity.
Well, who got $250 million?
$230 million.
Yeah, who got that?
Trump. Your guy. He's suing the government for when they prosecuted him. He's supposed to be suing them for the money that he paid, I guess, in lawyers.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Let government pay me. Well, hey.
You don't want to talk about.
What
about the White House? You going to the party they tearing down now and you're going to redo it? And say that part will be bigger than the White House.
Hey, listen.
If they add on, it's going to tower over the little White House.
The White House needs to be a place of elegance. It's a representation of our country. It needs to be a place of elegance. I don't have a problem with it. It ain't my money anyway. Once they get
it is your money.
No,
it's your money.
No.
You sell up that. You used to say that, now you don't turn back again.
Once they get the money, but once they get the money, it's there. They can do what they want. They never send me a letter and say, "How can we do this?" They don't ask me about the budget. So I mean, I don't care if they bill it. They're gonna do something with the money, and they run out of money.
I know.
They can print some more.
We talk about the wrong group, so I understand your plight. It's a Democrat. Another thing, it looked like somebody finna call what is Howard out. You're talking about making an agreement, looking at Obamacare now.
Yeah.
We're gonna see who's gonna kick it out first.
Well, I don't know. I just don't know.
And with Russia, I thought he said he's supposed to meet Russia in Budapest.
Well, he changed his mind. Yeah, something happened.
No. The report said there was never an agreement made. How can you cancel something that wasn't made on the BCC news?
Listen,
it was not ever made.
Somebody told me.
Somebody missed the line.
Wait. Somebody told me when two elephants get to fighting, we don't need to be in the way. That's above my pay grade. Yeah. You know, they nothing I can do. Two elephants start fighting.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand your plight. It has to be a Democrat.
I don't have a plight. Listen, I don't like everything Trump does, but I like most everything he does. So I don't agree with everything. Come on now. I don't like this immigration thing the way they're doing it. It disturbs my soul to put people in strip ties who ain't doing nothing but showing up for work. That just irks me.
Well, I got a chance there to look at the march that they had.
Yeah.
No King's Day. And
that was a joke. That was a joke.
I wanted to put up a sign and say, "How you like your vote now?"
Oh, I'm all right, but that was a joke. As a matter of fact, they had to pan the camera real close to make sure it looked like they had a lot of people there, and they didn't. Listen, that was a joke.
One person.
Those are a bunch of mentally ill folks who got nothing else to do to go out and complain.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
There were old people.
And there was some of them mentally ill too.
That was okay. Oh well, you know what Hillary said about y'all party.
Yeah, I don't care what she said. Well, that ain't my party, so I don't care what they say about the party. I don't care. No, I don't say nothing about the party. I don't care. They never. I don't have a card. Okay, I don't have a card in my back pocket say Republican, but the Republican philosophy is excellent. The problem is we got some philosophers who don't even adhere to their own philosophy. Okay, I am not a tax and spend, but I do understand that people want things and they got to be paid for. Yes. Hello.
Hello. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Stop. Am I on there?
Yeah, you are.
Listen, stop telling that lie, because I had 2 cameras and an iPad to film the whole thing from beginning to end, so y'all wouldn't tell that lie.
What lie?
They had quite a few people, a large group.
Oh, you talking about in Montgomery? You mean in Montgomery?
Yeah, the one in Montgomery.
Oh yeah, well, those are mentally ill people too. They're all Democrats. Yeah, they were.
No,
all
don't
Democrats.
say that Trump card trying to call people crazy, because the one that's calling the person crazy is a fool. My grandmama always said, "A fool is talking when he called you one. That's the fool that's a fool.
There are a bunch of fools. They have.
No,
Yeah, they
don't
are.
try and make it so bad. They made their point. You all said it was not going to be a large group,
and it wasn't.
Yes, it was. I was at the beginning to the end and Simmons with 3 cameras.
You think 700 women? You think 700 people is a lot of people?
Listen, what they started out with, that's you got that count. That's the person. Okay. They have an official person that was doing the counter.
I don't want to tell you.
Don't try to out-talk me.
Okay.
Because you can't.
Wait a minute.
You might have this click off.
When you pay people to protest, that's not a protest.
That's another lie. Stop that lie.
You pay people to protest.
Nobody out there said they were paid.
Yeah, they get paid. George
that's
Soros.
That's another card that you playing this morning.
Yeah.
So cut it out.
I'm just saying.
Stop playing. Hey, take your head and put it back on your body.
Yeah.
See, I have to go there with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. Hey, I got some folks supposed to be coming in here, but I don't see them in here.
I don't much blame them.
Hey, I got some people supposed to be coming in here, but I don't. They didn't hit the. Maybe they didn't hit the thing. Okay, y'all need to hit the link that I sent you. Because I don't see it right there. So when you talk about indigent care, in 1986, Ronald Reagan signed the Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act, guaranteeing emergency health services to all, which is a Democratic ploy, including immigrants. But I think people ought to get basic care. Okay, and I'm not lying about Obamacare. The medical process and insurance has gone up exponentially. Okay, and come January, it's going up another 20%. So why would I lie? Seriously, why would I lie? I mean, of course, they worth about $250 million now, so they're not worried about paying their fair share of the bill. So let me see if I can get my guest on here through my studio here. Okay, then. Well, if they show up, they show up. Elections have consequences. That's true. And that is one of the reasons why I think the mayor should be allowed to whoever he wants to put in there, as long as they're qualified to do the job. I don't have a problem with him. Okay. But 700 people showed up in hey. Okay, wait a minute. Yes.
I wonder where Dixie Chick gets her information. I never heard anybody so wrong. Does she read or she just listened to MSNBC? Where did Trump get any millions or $200-something million? Where's he got that from?
Somebody said he's paying for the.
No, it's two different things. Dixie Chick claimed because he asked the government to pay his legal fees. That doesn't mean he's going to get them, and he ain't got them yet. There ain't nothing to that. And he's paid for the ballroom. I don't know where the hell she gets her information, but I'm sorry for the kids that went to school under her. They probably can't even read or write because she seems to have trouble reading, so she gets it all wrong. Hey, why do we keep being asked for people that don't want to take care of their own self? Why have I had to pay thousands of dollars in insurance to like State Farm and health insurance and everything else? And people don't want to pay anything. They want everything free, but they don't have any trouble coming up with tattoos and pot smoking. You think any of these poor people who can't pay their taxes or pay for insurance, even when you got subsidies, and if they that broke, they could get Medicaid. You know, I just get so sick and tired of people wanting somebody else to pay their damn bills.
Okay, then. Well,
but Dixie Chick, learn how to read the whole article. And I mean, you're sounding ignorant when you call in with wrong information.
All right. Appreciate it. I got to take a break. I got to get a couple of guests in through the backdoor studio here. So y'all just hold on. I got to take a break. I'll be back in a couple of seconds here because I'm waiting for them to do their thing. And so let me see if I can get them in. They want to talk about something. I'm not exactly sure what it is they want to talk about. So we shall take a break, uno momento, and come back in a few moments. Okay? So hang loose. Let's see if I can get these folks in into the studio, because sometimes my mind ain't working the way it's supposed to. Okay, so hang loose. We shall return uno momento. Okay, so we got this. We got this. Okay.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginnings for you and me, 'cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginnings for you and me, 'cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done.
Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, I think I went into the wrong studio today. And so that's why my guest is not here. Boy, just some mornings, I mean, I do this so right, then some mornings I do it so wrong. Okay, then. So let me see what the oh, no wonder. Hey, Willie, okay. I'm going to put a link on my Facebook page, and you can click on that on your phone, and you will come in here and tell what's his name to do the same thing. Yeah, I'm in the wrong studio. Well, what can I tell you, brother? What can I tell you? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. So let me put it on the Facebook page right now so you can get in there. President Trump's approval ratings hold strong amid government shutdown. Because he ain't doing that's really shutting things down. Now, according to the Democrats, he is, but we all know the truth. Okay, we all know the truth, and the truth is that these Democrats, again, now they want a different group of people to depend on them, which is the no wonder I couldn't get all this stuff together. Man, I went into the wrong studio today. Okay, I was so excited about getting here this morning until I just didn't know what to do. So let me put this in the right thing here, and we will get my guest in. Now, hey, y'all got to go to the the Facebook page, and you will see a blue it says StreamYard on it. You'll see that, Willie, and y'all, and just go there and give me a second here to get it on the page. And yeah, I'm stuck in the wrong studio this morning. Okay, that's just the way it goes. So I'm going to put this on top, pin it to the top, and okay, so there you go. So you see, it'll say StreamYard. Click on that, and I sent y'all the wrong thing. I need a secretary or something. I need a secretary or something like that. So once you click on that in your phone, you just gotta use your phone, go to my Facebook page, and click on that little blue thing that says StreamYard, and it'll bring you in. Okay, I apologize for seeing you the wrong thing last night. I don't know what was up with that, but okay. Let me see. Elections have consequences. That's true. Poor people work every day. They do. They do. No sense. Listen, I'm a poor person working every day. Okay, not totally working, but I'm getting up every day, like going to work. This is my work right now. And we're not blaming poor folk for hey, Rashad, wait, hold on. What? Stop making lines up and read its entirety. Read what's entirety? The law? Oh, wait, this yours. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Here's what it said. So when you talk about indigent care, it says in 1986, Ronald Reagan signs the Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act guarantee. We'll get to that in a second. I got somebody else on this thing right quick. So we'll get to yours in a minute. I appreciate that because I'm not going to ignore it. But again, Reagan didn't do everything right, and the problem with the government, when government gets involved in anything, it screws it up. Okay, it screws it up. Hey, Willie, did you tell what's his name to do that? Did you tell him to do it?
I'm shooting it to him. I'm shooting him a message right now.
Oh, okay. So what's on your mind today?
Man, God is good.
Oh, okay. What were we supposed to talk about today anyway?
We were talking about the shootings. We were talking about the city council, and we were talking about the Jackson Hospital situation. I told you I didn't think they did Mayor Reed fair on covering why he vetoed it. I was telling you, I said that I actually agreed with them on that, since Jackson was catering to a lot of our surrounding cities, maybe they should chip in, and try to help save it if it's servicing everybody.
But 2060 is a 2060. I mean, a 4060 is a is a reasonable, since our people are the ones who go in there bankrupting them, getting shot every day.
As far as to say 70-30, but then let them use the facilities, and then when it's just like if me, you, L, and if you have and Zeke were riding in your car, and we all depended on your car to get us to work, and your car break down, and you need some help, due to the fact that we all use that car to make money, we all could chip in a little bit. We ain't got to foot the whole bill,
but 60-40. I mean, Montgomery is the main reason. Our constituency is the main reason why the hospital is going bankrupt.
We can't prove that.
Yeah, we can. Go back and look at all the people been shot that been over there with no insurance, couldn't pay for it.
I mean, you got shot with no insurance.
Yeah.
But you also you got them. They go to the hospital as well. They go there as well.
Who go there as well? But it's our folk. It's our constituency in the city of Montgomery, we
make up the majority now. We make up the majority, but we're not the only ones using that facility.
No, I didn't say we were, but it is those instances trauma instances, which we have a lot of them every weekend, just about, which cost the money, the surgeries.
I can't agree with that. I mean, it's more to the hospital. You got babies being born. You got people having to go there to do pronouncements.
We have a lot of them too. Yeah,
but that don't mean it's necessarily coming from us. I mean, because if you think about it, if a woman is having a baby at Millbrook, where is she gonna have the baby at? Because they don't have a hospital. Wetumpka.
Well, that's what hospitals are for.
Otterville.
Yeah, but the money.
Who says they have insurance?
Well, a lot of them don't.
Okay, so once again, that's Wetumpka, that's Millbrook, that's Ottaugerville. I mean, you'd be amazed where people are from. Matter of fact, I had a friend who was from Ottaugerville, and she actually did deliver her baby right there at Jackson.
Okay.
A baby. Well, he's not a baby no more. He's like grown. But the moral of the message is they're using the facilities as well.
Well, I hope that they took something off the bill since she did all the work.
Well, no, she did all the work to get it there, right?
I'm just saying, if she delivered her own baby, then
No, but I'm just saying, she had her baby there. He's like I say, he's grown now, but she lived in Otagoville, but she delivered her baby at Jackson. And I say that to say this: we cannot just sit here and blindly say this is because of people being shot. There's so many different departments and levels to that hospital.
What do you believe costs the most money? Delivering a baby or doing surgery on people's brains and their bodies because they've been shot? Which one you think costs more money?
I'll be honest with you. I would say unpaid for doctor visits. It could be health scares. Wait a minute. It could be a health scare. Person might think they're having a heart attack.
That's true, but the reality is trauma cases cost more money because it takes more people to work on an individual and trauma than it does.
What if I told you that you were incorrect? Because if you did your research, you would have known that Baptist South deals with the super majority of our gunshot victims, not Jackson.
But Jackson is in the center. But Jackson is in the center of town. The closest hospital, if you live in the city of Montgomery, the closest hospital you get to is Jackson. I don't know where you get that at. It's Jackson, not
based off of the analogy of what you just said. And check with anybody. Check with your police officers and your elected officials. Baptist South Prattville does have a hospital, but it's just a small acute one. But keep in mind, Baptist South deals with the majority of your gunshot victims.
We'll have to do some more research because if you get shot in the middle of Montgomery, your closest hospital is Jackson Hospital.
They used to flip flop on who has the ER.
They used to do that when I got here.
They used to, but if check into what I'm telling you, it is to my understanding that Baptist South deals with those gunshot victims. So when you made the analogy about Jackson dealing with all of those gunshot victims, no, that's not necessarily true. You have a lot of, people with heart issues, conditions, and different
regular medical issues, right? And
I think the safe thing to say is that they dealt with a lot of people that did one or two things. Just didn't have insurance, or didn't want to pay their bill. Abuse of
a lot of them can't. I mean, and the illegal immigrant thing is a big deal too. But
that's right, Mike Williams. Mike is right. He's.
Well, I would imagine some of them go to Baptist, but the things that happen in the center of town are probably going to Jackson more than they are Baptist. Baptist's a long way off when Jackson's just right there off Mulberry, or not Mulberry, but yeah, right there off Mulberry.
I tell you something else that I thought about too, Kevin. Is it possible that, it's not just Jackson Hospital, it could be those facilities surrounding it because you got the health department down there, where the health department is separate, but it's real close to it. But you got those facilities around there. I mean, it's just a matter of people not being able to pay their bills.
And when the more people that get into all this trouble certainly don't have the ability to pay their bills.
Now, this is what I'm kind of afraid of. So if Jackson is about to shut down because of, financial problems, how long will it be before it catches up to Baptist South and Baptist East?
Oh, well, it will catch up.
They're not going to stop going to the hospital. That's for sure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we got to look at that's
why that's why the mayor should give them the $15 million that they're asking for, the 25.
I think we should, but but you to sit here and say that he's being obnoxious is being a bit dishonest to the public. They should have told why he vetoed it.
Well, he told us why he vetoed it. He wanted somebody up more money,
Now,
but I think it is our citizens in the city of Montgomery who by overwhelming preponderance use that hospital.
I agree.
Group. And so we should
But
pay our
I will say this. I do like the fact that the city council did have a set of nuts and they stood up and said, no, we're going to take care of this, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
I, you know, for a long time, everybody's been saying, you know, they've been dancing to the beat of the mayor. It don't look like they danced to the beat the other night. So, hey, what's going on, El?
What's up?
So I can understand them vetoing Mayor Reed on that, but to sit here and say that I didn't see where Mayor Reed was coming from, like I say, would be dishonest. You say he asked for 60-40?
Well, that traditionally, and I talked to Singleton the other day, traditionally, it's been a 60-40 split, and that's the city paying 60 and the county paying 40%. And I think that's fair. The county's got a budget of $153 million. Montgomery has a budget of $321 million. Okay, we got the money. And we fund the police department fully for 400 police officers. Guess what? We don't have 400 police officers. So where's that money going?
I've been, you know, and that was the thing. That's the money that's set aside. I think now me and El kind of talked about this a while back. There's a certain amount of monies that is set to the side for each department. And
not that's much money.
No, but I'm just saying that's one of the departments where we know there's a shortage, but the finances is there. But at the same token, we just sat here and watched a budget being passed that was extremely higher than what it has been before. And I think what needs to happen
with less
personnel. And so what I think needs to happen at this point is that there needs to be some modifications made and an audit to where the public, you know, if you're gonna raise the debt, which I don't have a problem with, but I need to know where the money is going. So if we're adding to this, due to the fact that we don't have 400 police officers, clearly we should be able to cut something from that budget.
Or we listen, the thing is, the word on the street is that the mayor wants a civic center, which I don't have a problem with that. But to deny the county that money when the preponderance of people over there come from the city of Montgomery, I think is wrong. Even if we do want a civic center, we're not going to get one no time soon. And so give them I think the police budget, I couldn't find it in the new in the budget thing this morning, but I think it's around $41 million. And since we don't have the 400 police officers that we used to have 500, but we still budgeting for 400. Where's that money going? It's called a fallout money. And
now, let me ask you this. Yeah. Let me ask you this, and this is me being fair, looking at it from just being optimistic, right? Is this including the overtime wages that will be paid to the police officers? You know, granted, we know that we're short on officers. We know that the shifts still got to be covered. Because we do know some nights Montgomery's running on a paper thin police staff.
Yeah, and that's true. But I still can't figure out why the sheriff department got 150 people waiting to get on, and we can't get anybody. There's a problem here, and I don't know.
And nobody wants to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, but we got a problem. We got.
The thing is, what's up, man? So the thing about the police department is, there's no transparency, right? Because we can't even get a real number of officers that we have. When numbers get thrown around or brought up, Mayor Reed is quick to denounce and say, no, those numbers are not right. Well, what are the numbers? He doesn't give any numbers. So we really don't know to answer like Willie's question about, well, how much money are we paying to overtime? We don't, because they're not going to say anything. They're not telling us how many officers we have. They're not going to tell us what overtime they spend. They didn't want to tell us how much they were spending on the county to come in last year. They didn't even want to talk about that. The county had to lead the way on that and let it be known. So, and then I guess y'all talking about the Jackson Hospital thing earlier, and the city is they want the city to commit to $15 million.
Right.
I think, which I do believe clearly most people that go to Jackson Hospital live in Montgomery. Most people do. And the reason why a big reason why Jackson is in the situation they're in is for one, bad leadership, and two, the amount of people that go to Jackson and use it as like a primary care facility, and they don't go there for real emergencies. So, and a lot of these people don't have insurance. A lot of people are illegals. So, how they getting paid? If you're coming in, you're going in there with the flu or something or whatever the case, and you could have gone to a primary or somewhere, and you go to the emergency room. That's costing money. We're paying for that bill. They're not paying anything because they're either illegal, they don't have insurance. So then that's why Jackson's in the situation it's in.
So you don't think it has anything to do with
nobody wants to talk about that though, because the whole illegal thing is a no touch topic, because the mayor himself has said those people are residents. So he treats them like me, you, and Willie. Like we're, you know what I'm saying? So
they are human beings. I mean, they are human beings. I mean, you know, so
no, they're not American citizens though. They're not citizens. They're not residents like me, you, and Willie. We pay taxes. We're from here. We're invested in the community. They're not invested in the community. When you break into the country and then you go and you work under the table, you don't have a legit social security number.
But
you don't have insurance for your car. Like you're driving a vehicle with no insurance. That's not the same.
What does a good book say about treating a stranger from another land?
Yeah, but he also tell you to follow the laws of the land.
You gotta follow the laws of the land, though, right? So what about that? So no, forget all that lovey-dovey, all that auto stuff. They come into the country breaking the law to do that. When we break the law, what happens to us? Don't we go to jail? Don't we pay fines?
Well, I ain't
going not in Montgomery.
They're no different than us.
Hey, in Montgomery, you can I can go out there and kill somebody this morning, and I'll be at home by dinner time, just like the last guy that was caught up in the mass shootings.
Do y'all know where the preponderance of most of the taxes come from for the city? Where the tax money comes from? No, you don't. I think it's the sales
what do you mean, like
tax.
government jobs?
No, it's the sales tax, I believe, funds the city more than any other tax. We use gas tax and all that stuff, and everybody who buys something in this city pays taxes. So even if you're here illegally, you are paying taxes when you go.
I don't care what they paying. They don't have car insurance, so when they get, do you also know this, Kevin? Yeah. Most of these car accidents that's happening, illegals are a part of those car accidents.
Yeah.
Do they have car insurance? No, they don't. Who has to foot the bill for that?
You do.
You seem kind of discriminatory, my brother.
He made a point.
They are not supposed to be here. Why are we talking as if they're supposed to be here?
Well, but they are here. But they are here. And
okay, so let's deal with that. They shouldn't be here. So let's fix that problem. That's a problem.
Well, let me ask you.
That's an issue.
Okay, as a matter of pragmatism, let me ask you the question. If you're stuck someplace where there's no opportunity, none, to take care of your family, do the things you want to do, wouldn't you leave if you could?
Oh, look, maybe but I'm not going to go break into. I'm not, folks. All right, so I'm not going to go break into a country that speaks a different language. And then I'm going to break into the country, break the law, get into the country, and then force them to speak my language.
Well, now, listen.
That makes no sense. We're the only country in the world that does this, that allows it.
I'm with you on that. We changing all the. I'm with you on that one. I mean, listen, I got hard enough time with English. I don't want to be mandated to speak any other language because when I lived in Honolulu in the 80s, if you didn't speak Japanese, you could not get a job downtown. You know why? Because the Japanese own all the businesses downtown in Honolulu. And I said, and I'm with the guy one day. I said, well, is this still America? Did I miss something on the side?
Hey, it's becoming that now. I was talking to somebody recently that lives in another state, and that person was telling me that at the supermarket, everybody's Indian. So that everybody speaks whatever language they speak.
Okay, well, that's
like none of the cashiers speak English at all because all their customers are Indian-based.
Well, then they don't need to speak English. They don't need to speak English then.
But we're in America, though.
I think we're kind of jealous. Just tell the truth. Americans are jealous because we went to school. We was trying to take a foreign language. We didn't pay much attention, and we didn't learn it. I mean, come on, we just a little jealous, aren't we?
The thing is that they come into our country and then they use up our resources.
That's what happened.
Listen, I said I'm kind of jealous. I wish I spoke 2 or 3 languages.
Willie, habla español.
All we need is English.
Huh?
All we need is another language.
Español.
Yeah, but our English is made up of everybody else's language.
Yeah, but it's still our language, though.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? That's the language of the land. Like, that's the language of the land. So
I think you kind of prejudiced there, Captain. I think you.
Man, again, I'll take whatever label you want to put on it. The truth is still the truth. They don't belong here, so let's deal with the issue, right?
Now, some people say
you can power it up all you want to. I don't mind that. At the end of the day, I'll tell you, anybody that want to hear it, they don't belong here. Let's fix it. They're coming to the schools. They're putting more burden on the schools. Our schools suck anyway, right? We all know that.
Yeah, for the most part.
Now these people are coming into the school. Now we're paying for more resources, more teachers that know their language, that can teach them, that can speak to them in their language to get them to learn our curriculum. So they're doing double work. What are we doing? No, go to France, go to Austria, go to Germany, go to Japan. You mentioned Japan, or go to Japan. Go try to do that stuff over there. See how it works.
Well, we understand, but isn't that what makes America different? Isn't that?
No, that's not what makes us. No, that's not it.
It is.
No.
What is that declaration? What does that thing say on the? What does that thing say on the? And the French put it there. On the Statue of Liberty says, "Give me your weak, give me your poor," and stuff like that. And so that's what they're doing. They're just going by with this.
Yeah, legally. Yeah, if you come here legally, we're talking about illegals right now. We're talking about people that break into the country.
It don't say that on Statue of Liberty.
No, we're talking about legal. It's always been this way. Legal migration is fine. It's cool.
You know what? To kind of get it back on topic, are you stating that the illegals play a big part in the downfall of Jackson Hospital?
No, I think people getting shot play a good part on that. We can't go through a weekend without somebody being shot. That takes a lot of money to perform them surgeries over there. Yeah,
that's another part. Yeah, that is like all this can be true. The trauma that we see, that they see happening, that they see happening there to bandage up and all that, right? Save lives. On top of people who go to the ER for no real reason, they just go there because they need some whatever, they feel sick, they got a cough, right? That's a problem. Then you got illegals going in there. All of this is true. All this is a burden on the system.
We left something out. And it needs to be put on the table. I wonder how much of that was pointing towards the mentally ill, because people that have a mental illness would go to the hospital to seek treatment or to be placed somewhere. They would, send them to the hospital. I don't know if you knew that or not. People that are mentally ill will go to the hospital to get some treatment, some help,
get some pills,
all kinds of things. So I mean, I really wonder about how much of that came from, because it's not, let's just be honest, it's not all people being shot. You got people that had massive heart attacks or think they didn't had heart attacks. You got people that might have broken bones or fractured bones. You got people women that are having babies. They never stop doing that. You also got the mental illness, but at the end of the day, I think the majority, and also I'm listening to what El is saying, and he does make a valid point, because Hispanics get sick as well, illegals get sick as well. I think just people not having insurance is the issue. And if you remember, wasn't this what the United Healthcare was supposed to cover? Just out of curiosity.
What do you mean United Healthcare?
The thing Obama did. It's called United Healthcare. Y'all renamed it to Obamacare, but actually it's called the United Healthcare.
Clearly, they ain't doing his job. If he was doing, if that's what it's supposed to do, he's not doing it. Clearly.
Yeah. L, here's what it says. It says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuge of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, the tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door."
So, and what part of that said, "Come over here illegally"? What part of that said that?
Wait a minute.
Nowhere. Don't say nowhere.
It don't say you got to pay to come here either. It said, "Give me your poor and your huddled masses."
That's
Now,
cool. I had no problem with that.
On there. The French
as long as they come legally, yeah, I had no problem. Okay. No problem. Come poor, broke, whatever. Mentally, I mean, you can have whatever going on. If you come over here legally, then I got nothing to say to you. I'm talking about illegal people.
Well, what if America makes it almost impossible unless you got money to come here legally? And they do.
Well, that ain't our problem, though, is it?
Yes, it is our problem.
No, it ain't.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. Last time I checked, we got people in Montgomery, Alabama that don't have food to eat, right? That was born here.
Yeah.
So why we looking elsewhere to help somebody when we got people right here that need help? I could have sworn people in the black community always crying about they need community centers and all this other stuff to help the kids, the poor kids out here. Well, I thought, why are we focusing on illegals then? Let them worry about their own situation.
You sound kind of rough, man. I mean, that's
somebody got to do it. Everybody else weak and soft.
You don't.
That's why we in this mess.
You don't sound.
That's why we in this mess.
You don't sound compassionate, brother.
I just said, if you come over here legally, I have nothing to say about it. I just said that.
Wait a minute. What if the cartel trying to get me because I didn't want to sell their drugs? Hell, I ain't waiting to get legal. I'm coming across the Rio Grande.
What does that got to do with us? Again, what does that got to do? What does the cartel, what is you selling drugs in your country got to do with us?
Well, what if they make you sell the drugs in your country, in their country?
Like what they got to do with Kevin Elkins? So you going to take him to your house? Okay. Hey, Kevin, to let y'all know, if y'all running from the cartel, he got a house. I'm sure he'll put you down in the basement or somewhere. He'll take care of you. Problem solved.
That's right, Mike. Now, Mike Williams said, didn't St. Margaret and St. Jude hospitals close for the same reasons? Farmer didn't bail them out. And he's right. And you know what? I was born at St. Margaret, which is now the place where you go for your driver's license to be reinstated. But
Hey, listen, wait, I'm not mad at L because he was over there on Joey's show. I got on him already.
He told me I was a traitor.
Yeah, I got him already for being a traitor to the Elk Dog show. He over there on that other place over there. I actually kind of like
he's spreading his wings, man. He's spreading his wings, But look, we did at one point, we had St. Margaret, St. Jude, and Baptist South, right? And Jackson. And two hospitals closed. They built Baptist East because for a long time, it was just Jackson and Baptist South.
Okay.
Then came Baptist East.
Right.
But you like Al said, we had several primates around Montgomery.
Right.
What is the Primeds and American Healthcare? But so they take care of the acute problems.
Okay.
The thing of it is that at the end of the day, you got to have insurance, and we've got to stop dancing around this issue. It bothers me that, and we can't say everybody can't afford it, but what we can say is that people misspend their money. If you got a pair of Jordans, you can afford some insurance.
Well, if you got iPhones and they got the latest Dre headphones and all kind of stuff.
Well, that's true. Let me see what Don, what's on your mind?
The brothers sound like they American First type people. I like the way they sound.
Well, I believe in America.
French had nothing to do with what you're reading, Kevin.
Yeah.
That wasn't the French that put that on there.
That
was years later.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you the truth, and then you can spout what you think. They tried to make the pedestal and stuff around the Statue of Liberty, and as far as a fundraiser, That's the stuff that come up. The French had nothing to do with what you're reading. But it's also what he said. Obamacare was affordable health care. It
That's right.
wasn't United or anything like that. United's health care is a
Thank you,
insurance
sir.
agency.
Thank you.
But the one thing in Obamacare, it said that everyone would have insurance. If you didn't make enough money, you could get Medicaid. If you did make some money and you didn't have enough, you could get extra money. I forgot what I'm looking for here. They give you extra money to buy the insurance. Yeah. But the problem with that is everybody's supposed to have insurance. The only way they had to affect it is if you got a return on your income tax, they could take that money. But then Trump actually did away with the requirement for everybody to have insurance. But I guess I'm sick and tired of people who want everything for free. But I ain't seen none of them that couldn't afford to buy pot or get tattoos. But they can't take care of themselves. They can't buy insurance. They can't buy food.
All right.
He's absolutely right. Mr. Dunn hit the nail on the head. It was called affordable health care. He's right. Not United health care. It was the affordable health care.
Yeah.
But
now listen, this guy is saying I'm for illegal immigration. I'm kind of like George Bush in a way. I'm for compassion to people who are just trying to put their families in a better way to have a decent life. I don't. We can, and let me ask you something there. My good friend Captain, the Captain share there. What harm are they doing actually? Is it about land? We got plenty of land. So what harm are they actually doing if they're working?
I'm glad you asked. Great question. So how they harming us is when illegals come into America, where do they go first?
I don't know, to get some Modelo?
Modelo in what neighborhood?
What? Say what?
Willie, when illegals come into Montgomery, where do they live at?
Oh, they come into our neighborhood.
Who neighborhood?
The black community.
Yeah, bingo. So when they come into the country, where do they go to first? They go to the poorer areas, which typically are black areas, right? We see it in Montgomery. Look at Montgomery. Where do they live at? West side, south side. You got a little bit in the north side, but are they on the east side? Do they live on Taylor Road, Vaughn Road?
Oh, they're not gonna make it out there.
So why have an issue with it? Because I actually value our people, everybody. I don't care what you look like. So when you're trying to make it and you're trying to look for a job and you got people coming from another country illegally coming into your neighborhood, now they're taking up your housing, they're going to your schools, and they're taking your jobs. Now people want to lie and make this thing about, well, who would be cutting grass if it weren't for illegals? Who was cutting grass before illegals came over here? So, you know what I'm saying? Like all that straw man work.
Let me piggyback off of something that L is saying. To kind of break some hearts. Another reason why Trump won this second term, we might as well put it on the table, is because the Democrat Party zeroed in on illegals and homosexuals. They had nothing on the table for African Americans. Not a thing. If so, go back and tell me. Go back and show it to me.
Not nothing. Real quick, when you said that part about illegals, guess who wanted Trump to target the illegals in the country?
The illegals.
Other legal Hispanics.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that came over here legally, they were some of the biggest proponents of dealing with the illegal crisis. Ain't that something? Imagine that.
So let me again, I just got to ask the question here. So you guys think that the biggest problem that we have in America is illegals coming here illegally?
That's a
I mean,
part
the
of it.
biggest problem is one of them. It's one of the
It's
top
just
issues. Yeah,
it's not 50% plus, but it's one of them that sticks out. But this last election showed me the mindset of America. And I sat there and I didn't make no comments whatsoever. I wouldn't try to sway nobody which way to vote. I feel like you should vote your conscience, but I sat there and I watched, in the words of Kamala Harris, for 107 days, how they zeroed in, the Democrat Party zeroed in on helping illegals and making homosexuals feel comfortable and empowering women.
Okay.
We said, and you know what? If you remember, Barack Obama went to a bar. He did a thing. He had a little press conference where he had his arms folded and he was mad because when the census did their little study, they realized that a lot of African American men were not voting because they didn't feel like they were included, and they weren't. And they weren't. And so, when you look at just what's going on, and I'm gonna bring it back to the illegal thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were X'd out. We were deemed, they said we don't vote, this, that, and the other, but
and we do have a problem with voting.
We all do.
We
all do.
Not me. I vote.
The younger ones definitely do. Black, white, Hispanic, whatever.
So what they're saying is true.
The young people have a problem with voting. You're right.
Because we have and then
the illegals coming in, now they're the voters now.
They're not the only people committing crimes. Americans commit more crimes in this country than illegal people do. I mean, because they can't afford to do it.
Hold on a second. How would you know how much crime they do? If a person comes into your country, no social security number, you have no fingerprint on record, they're like a ghost. They don't exist. And they do a crime. How do you gonna know they do a crime? I'll wait.
Again, we don't even handle the people we know who did crime. We letting them out.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out. How would you know that illegals don't commit crime? How would you know? How would you know a number? Because how would you know they commit crimes? They're ghosts.
Greg just said something. He said, "What harm? They work for less money and lower wages under the table."
That's the problem. There it is. That's why they get hired more. It's just common sense. What are we talking about?
People tell me that they work for lower wage, and I've talked to some employers that know
they
don't pay them lower wages.
The hell they don't.
That's worth looking into. But I do know one thing. I do know people started paying higher wages when the pandemic hit, and you had people making almost $1,000 a week refusing to go to work.
Well, the thing is, they do get paid less because they know they're here illegally. So they're willing to take that less money because under the table, therein lies the problem. That's why would you want to hire somebody that's a real citizen that has to pay taxes? You gotta have insurance form and all kind of stuff. Why would you as a business owner that makes no business sense?
I think y'all a little bit prejudiced here.
No.
You can use whatever language you want to. That's fine. Attack a bigot, racist. I don't care what you're going to call it, xenophobe or whatever. All the fancy words. The problem is still the problem.
Let me get Bud ready. Go ahead, Bud.
Yeah, they're not prejudiced. They're speaking the truth.
Okay. Y'all on the same sheet of music then?
Yeah.
Kevin is scared. That's all.
Scared of what? Scared of
workers.
Workers. You scared?
Are supply and demand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me see. Okay. Supply and demand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you remove 20 million illegals from the workforce.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now all of a sudden you have a huge vacuum in supply, but the demand is going to stay the same. So what happens? That means employers now have to pay a premium for workers, for the same workers. Yep. So everybody talks about a livable wage.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's like 160 million people employed 170 million.
I'm running out of time.
He's actually right. He's right.
He's telling facts right now.
Let me get this other guy that's on there. Let me get this other guy because this is my last call. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
How's it going, fellas?
All right. How you doing?
The guest. Anyway, Mr. Elkins.
Yeah.
One question, sir. Are these companies still bringing over the illegals? Have they dealt with that part of it yet? What's going on with that? I see you guys on top of the roof, and
well, that's probably because they can't find Americans who want to do the job.
That's not my question. I'm saying I thought they was going to crack down on all of it.
Well, they are cracking down on
Are these companies still allowed to bring them in?
Well, you got visas. You got work visas. I think it's called 1-B or B-1 or something like that. Visas that you can still come.
You gotta understand.
But what I'm saying, it was a big problem.
To get a job. You need
a lot
two
of companies was
what
doing it illegally. Have these companies been dealt with about that, or do they still have the people on their jobs working still?
You normally need a social security card.
Bingo. So if a company gets these two things, an ID, a state ID, and a social security card, a number, that's all they need. And if it's fake, the company can't verify that. They gonna send it in. And if you don't get caught by the people that check that, guess what? Guess who's working?
Y'all seem kind of racist. Y'all seem kind of racist to me. I don't.
You know what I'm saying? That that's how that works. So the caller saying by the companies are doing their due diligence to send in the paperwork.
You're defaming
our
character, not Kevin. You're defaming our character. Nothing we said. Nobody said anything racist.
Who you talking about? You're talking about the illegals. You certainly.
No. I didn't put the.
We can't talk about illegals now. So they hands off.
No, we didn't put the bulk of the blame on the illegals, but he went down and specified what the illegal was because clearly you didn't know.
Well, I know they are.
I'll tell you something else.
They are people, though. They're people.
You know what? I'll say this right here. No. They are people. They're welcome, but just do things right. That's my whole thing on that. But you do know it is a known fact that they will take a lower wage to do the same work, and the companies would know it, and they know that the people don't quite necessarily have the paperwork to be here. And now it has become, it's becoming a problem, a noticeable problem. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to rectify. So now you become racist trying to rectify a problem? I think not. And I do believe that this did help contribute to not only Jackson closing, but, just other places closing, an undealt with issue. Nothing racist about it. I welcome any and everybody. I
don't sound like it.
Hey. So I guess we have 75 homicides in Montgomery, right? And 75 are black killers, right? So I guess when we're arresting the black people, now that's racist too. Okay.
No, we're arresting people. We're arresting people that did a crime. I don't.
So illegal aliens are not committing crimes though.
Well, I don't know.
Why they call it illegal alien? Is because they did something illegally, right? What they do?
We got that. Okay, listen.
Come on, man.
Pastor Knight, you need to bring Eleanor in church on Sunday.
Kevin, you too old for this, man. You too old to be acting like you don't know what's going on.
No, I do, but I do know we have been told to be kind to people.
Yeah, we are.
Law.
Nobody's being. But you know what? Nobody's being rude. But I want to get back on topic before it's time to get off.
Well, it's time to get off.
I do believe, and I think we can mutually agree that the city budget needs to be audited, so we can look at this excess money that's being spent in areas that they don't need to be spent.
It's coming from the police department.
No. I mean, but the whole thing needs to be looked at, itemized, blow by blow. I don't think that we should be, bailing out the water part. That's my personal belief.
Hey, we need the water part.
Okay.
What?
But you know what? It's just like
it is a quality of life issue with the water part. I'm tired of people coming here just to see how white folks used to treat black people back in the day.
And you know what? I feel some type of way about that because it's kind of hard to improve race relations when you keep painting our face with our pain.
Yeah, exactly. And I took you some water park.
That's all we got.
Guys, my time is up.
We figured that you didn't want to put us on in time because we were gonna bring this kind of weekend.
I did the wrong studio this morning. My problem. My bad. I'm sorry about that.
That's old age.
We'll get it right next. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's always good talking to you, man. Always good talking to you. I disagree with your method, but not your message. Okay, your method is kind of harsh. Be kind to the brother.
Hey, man, somebody got to do it.
Yeah, I know somebody got to do it. Well, hey guys, thank you very much for showing. We got to do this more often. We need to go in there, get a whole round table in here because. But listen, El, you going to church on Sunday?
I'm at church every Sunday, man.
Okay, good. I want you to get closer to the pew.
I mean, what's they gonna do? That sounds like witchcraft. Getting close to the pew. What's they gonna do?
No, I need you to get a little close so you can hear that thing about do unto others as you had them doing to you.
Yeah, and I don't go to people's countries illegally. I don't do that.
When the last time you been to anybody's country?
Good question. There you go. Why leave?
Well, I'm with you.
America's a beautiful place.
It's a gorgeous place. I wouldn't trade it for all the tea in China.
Yeah.
But anyway, I gotta let you guys go. I appreciate. We're gonna do this again one day, and I'm gonna have to replay this later on today because I can't believe some of the things I heard today.
Yeah. Hey, listen back to it so you can catch the error of yourself.
Okay.
Maybe you catch some things. You be like,
appreciate
oh man,
He'll never tell us he was wrong.
Reverend, we'll talk soon again.
Okay.
And when y'all we will talk soon again, my friend.
We need to do it again. You be safe.
Yeah, you too. Anyway, that's about the end of that show. I gotta go because you guys. How was the show? Okay, good. At least we had a conversation. We didn't argue each other, cuss each other, or anything like that. So I'm good. Okay. Well, man. Whoa, says the blind man. Let me see. Anyway, I have got to go. Tomorrow I'm going to make sure I get in the right studio. Okay, right studio. Don't forget. I don't know what I just forgot what I told you not to forget. I know what I was going to tell you. I'm just messing with you. It is not the falling down that gives us strength. It is the getting up every time we do. So all I can tell you, no matter how many times you fall, keep getting up. Keep getting up. And remember, it is the clouds of life that are temporary. The sun is always there. Your challenge is to see through the clouds. Have a great day. We love you. Some of y'all, anyway. Tomorrow, the good Lord said the same. Bye.